Well, we're now returning to the story that we were talking about before the advertising break, which is the latest move on the Leasehold scandal. I can speak now to George Lusty. He's Senior Director for Consumer Protection at the Competition and Markets Authority. George, welcome back to you. Before we lost you, I was making the point that Persimmon was one of the house builders that you took enforcement action against last September. The others were Taylor Wimpey, Barratt Developments and Countryside Properties. Is Persimmon now in the clear?
Yes, this concludes our investigation into Persimmon, but our wider work continues, and we're really hoping that the clear message from today's outcome will land with the other housing developers and that they'll agree to do the right thing as well.
So what is the timetable with the other three that you've taken enforcement action against?
Ultimately, if we need to, we'll have to go through the courts if they don't agree to give us voluntary changes, but we're hoping very much to be able to announce more on that in the coming months and certainly by the end of this year.
Oh, well, that's encouraging. I mean, what sort of penalties could they face if they don't reach terms with you?
So we can't seek fines in these civil proceedings. That's just not open to us. But we can try and fix problems and can get people's money back and ask the court to order that money be paid back. Thousands of people are going to be better off as a result of these undertakings agreed today. People who won't have to pay what they thought they might have to pay to get their freeholds. And anyone who's been subject to a doubling ground rent will get the money back and will only have to pay ground rent at the initial level now.
Why is it taking so long to reach terms with the other developers? I mean, I've seen it suggested that for Persimmon, only a relatively small number of properties that they sold were on these terms where they continue to own the freehold. Is that the case?
So it affects thousands of Persimmon leaseholders. I think it's a really strong outcome for them. In terms of the wider case and the time that it takes, we need to follow a proper process. We obviously want to try and fix things without having to go to court if possible, because that can take many additional months and even years sometimes to get an outcome through the courts. And we know lots of people are affected by these difficult terms and issues with leasehold more properties that stop them from being able to sell their homes or indeed get a mortgage.
All right, George, good to see that we finally got you back. Thanks very much for sticking with us.